Marina. I'm a board member at Will. I'm also adjunct professor for future of work at the HEC Paris Business School. And I serve as a board member equally at the Hellenic Corporation of Assets and Participations. On Tuesday, we launched our first of two leadership seminars, and it was the kickoff with the theme of developing your leadership skills in times of uncertainty. And in a nutshell, the theme is, what kind of leadership skills are required during the times of turbulence and uncertainty that we're going through and we're probably going to be facing in the next few years. And so have a safe space in which they can put in practice those skills and hopefully put some goals for themselves. This is going to be followed up at the end of the promotions program with a second leadership seminar. And the idea is that this one will serve as a point of departure where they can set some goals and get some tools. And then we can all come back together with the second seminar at the closure of the program so that we can see what worked for them, what didn't work, what they found challenging, and then hopefully it will give them feedback to take on after they finish. We touched upon some sort of basic concepts and notions of what constitutes situational leadership, which it's what I use as a sort of conceptual framework when I teach issues of talent management and leadership. And this idea that you have to be able to develop a whole range of leadership skills in order to be able to face times that are where the ecosystem is really changing so rapidly that you will require a diversity of skills if you are to be yourself resilient and respond to unforeseen and unpredictable challenges. So the idea is for us to be able to identify together what are some of the key leadership competencies that one needs to develop, and then be able to also understand that those need to be internalized. So we talked about self-awareness, that those need to be exercised in the immediate sort of environment of their skills. And hopefully this is something they can take with them as sort of an ingrained methodology when they go back to their own organizations and they can actually practice it and have kind of a positive spillover effect in their own organization. So that's the main objective of the program, in particular for the women who are participating, is to be able to identify themselves, do kind of their own analysis of where some of their own constraints may be, some biases, some preconceived notions of how they consider role models and leadership skills, etc. So they will push also themselves throughout this year to go beyond what they feel comfortable in and try perhaps some new, take advantage of opportunities and try some new things for size, as I say, so that they can actually practice some new leadership skills and put them to the test. The Will is a perfect place to do that because we offer a safe environment for women to do that. We offer opportunities for them to take initiative, to be visible. And so, I think that's what it's expected of the participants, is to put themselves through this experience, make the most out of it, and not to be afraid to take some risks while they're doing this program. And it's too easy to take this opportunity kind of something that we do on the side and not take full advantage of it because everyone's so busy. It's bombarded by different priorities, the stress of pandemic and post-pandemic. So what I had was a word of caution: don't let go of the work. Keep engaging with each other, because this is the kind of work that if you form groups and you actually act as a sounding board to each other, it will force you to go out of your comfort zone amongst your peers, because here there's no criticism, there's not a boss, it's not someone who will evaluate you officially. So they can be your sounding board and they can help you identify perhaps some blind spots and help you think about how to move forward in a different way than you had sort of as a preconceived notion. So I would say the promotion has two excellent Sherpas. They did an amazing job at the webinar. I'm sure they will continue to do so. They will be sort of a liaison also with me throughout the year if there are questions or anxieties, or they need some feedback or just ideas. I will keep feeding them also with material, some thought leadership pieces and articles. And the idea is not to let go and keep working as groups. And I think that will be the best that they could get out of this experience. And I really enjoyed the fact that many of the participants came to me afterwards and said, well, this really spoke to me. And this particular thing that you mentioned about, resistance to being identified as too opportunist if we engage to issues of networking, for example, which we discussed a lot, that a lot of women feel reticent about doing networking because they think it's too opportunistic or is seen something very negative. So they said, well, I realized that I've done that in the past, or that I felt kind of constrained myself, and it really helped me to be aware of my own bias. So, that's very rewarding, I think, to be able to, for me, that was very rewarding. Have fun. Don't forget, this is about having fun and in building relationships that, as us who has been on the wheel for a long time, they can last a very long time, and they can be there for you in times of transition. So don't forget, this is also about forming relationships.
So just to briefly introduce myself, my name is Gabriel Brenes-Dunan. I currently work at UNESCO, and I've been managing the International Fund for the Promotion of Culture. I have 2 young children, 7 and 10 years old, and I'm currently at a space in my career where I'm looking to evolve and develop my leadership potential. So I'm really very excited to be part of the Will Network. Main takeaways I would bring from the workshop this morning with Maria on developing our leadership potential would be that becoming a good leader starts with working on ourselves and being very in tune with our self-awareness and self-care. And she gave the metaphor of like when you're on an airplane, you need to put on your own oxygen mask before you can assist others. I feel like being part of the Will Network and participating in this workshop was like a burst of oxygen, and that it's giving me also the energy and the motivation really to move forward on this process of developing my skills, and that starts with me. Well, what I enjoyed most was how she made the process of developing our leadership potential accessible, in the sense that there are some concrete steps we can take working with a group of, supportive, empowering colleagues in which we share our thoughts together. I know we're going to be in small groups, so that's going to be really helpful. And the breakout sessions, of course, with the other women. And I found that being able to connect with women like myself who are asking certain questions about work-life balance, about developing our skills, was really affirming. And so her advice, and with the immediate follow-up of connecting with other women, was really very positive. Thank you so much, Marina, for your time this morning. It was an inspiring workshop. And to the fact that you took the time and energy out of your certainly very busy schedule to work with the Will Network was wonderful. And thank you so much for all of your advice.
And I'm Alba Casero. I'm digital media manager in Orange, Spain. And I'm also the business owner of Marketing Mix Modeling Squad. That means that I do mathematical models in order to optimize marketing investment. Well, today's workshops seemed great to me. I think that the best thing about the session has been the balance between the theory and its landing or its application in real life. I think this is the most difficult part, and where more courses fail, but Marina has managed to combine it very well and to make it very enjoyable and useful. And I think for me, the most important thing in this course was having the opportunity to define my own personal leadership development plan and to analyze it, where my pain points are today, and to discuss it with other colleagues in the program. I think that this point is one of the best things about the program, is being able to find a space where to exchange ideas with other women leaders in very different sectors, where to exchange experience and being able to be ourselves without worrying about all those labels that are sometimes assumed to be necessary to compete for leadership in an overwhelmingly male world. So I think that's the most important thing for me. What I expect from this program, I think, is of course improving some of my communication skills or any other skills that we need nowadays to be a leader in a company. But I think that the most important thing is all this networking we can do together and to have more women as a reference that is not so easy sometimes when we are working with a so masculinized world, let's say. For me, it has been a pleasure to listen to a woman like Marina with so much experience and so much strength. She has given us a very good advice and some very useful ideas to better manage our career. And I think she's a great professional and a great reference. And I wish more women like Marina were given a voice. So thank you for that.